Hey everybody, I am finally back from my long hiatus of not doing any videos because of the holidays and my hand injury and just procrastination in general. But I am finally getting around to doing a tutorial on number 48 from friendshipbracelets.net, which has been the most requested one. So this is the pattern that we're going to be doing today, and I'm going to be using red and blue and black just like in this bracelet here. This one's already finished. Okay, and what you are going to need for this is you are going to need two different colors. You can pick any two you want, but I'm just using the blue and the red because they stand out very good from each other. And you are going to need two pieces of black for the border, and these should be cut at the very least to 65 inches because this pattern eats up a lot of string, and I actually cut mine to 72 because I have a 7-inch wrist, and that is pretty much just enough to have a little extra left to make sure you can make your knots and tie everything in and whatnot. So 2 strings of black cut to at least 65 inches, and then you are going to need 1 blue cut to the same length, 1 red cut to the same length, and then you are going to need 1 blue and 1 red that are cut to half of whatever the length you cut the longer pieces to, because it has an odd number of the colored strings. 3 blue and 3 red are needed. So you are going to need to cut this to half. And when you make your loop at the top, you are just going to put this up top with the regular loop, like say the loop is right here. You're going to put that right there and just tie it in with the rest of the loop. And then when you are finished your bracelet, you can clip off the little bit of excess, so that way you don't have to see these strings dangling around in the loop. But you can use any colors you want, but like I said, for tutorial sake and visibility sake, I'm going to use the blue and the red. Okay, before I put these into the loom and have to take it out to show you guys, see what I mean? I just tied the 2 shorter strings into the loop, but once you are finished, you can just go ahead and cut these down as short as you want, and probably really close, but of course not cutting into your bracelet right here. I just wanted to show you that before I end up putting all the strings in and having to take everything out again. Alright, so now I'm going to set up my loom, and I will be right back. Okie dokie, all set up now. I will have the instructions written in the description bar, so you can follow the instructions as I go, or you could just follow them on your own if you think you have the general idea. And also, you want your strings to be set up as 1 1 2 3 2 3 2 3 1 1, and I'll also have that in the description as well. So step number 1, you are going to want to take R2 and make a forward knot, and always remember to double knot. And then you are going to take R4 and make 2 forward knots. 1 and 2. Sorry if it's weird that I work from the side, but it's just easier for me that way to film. And then you are going to want to take R1 and you're going to want to do a backward, forward. So that was backward and then forward. And remember to always keep your strings where they should be. Since I did backward and then forward, it ends up back in the same exact place that it was. And then you are going to want to take L5 and do 4 forward knots. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There we go. straighten your strings. And then you are going to want to take R1 again and do another backward forward. The ones on the ends are going to be your border, so there's going to be a lot of backward forwards and forward backwards with R1 and L1. And then you are going to want to take L3 and do 6 forward knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. And then you are going to want to take R1 again and do a backward forward knot. Oops, get out of here. Okay, then you are going to want to take L1 and do 5 forward knots. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and that was step 1. So now we will be moving on to step 2. And if you're looking at the description as you're going, step 2 is going to be step 2, 3, and 4. So you are going to do the step 3 times in total. So step 2 is L1 forward backward knot. So that way it ends up back on the outside again. And then L2 is going to be 2 forward knots. 1, and then 2. And this next step takes L4, which is the string that you're still holding on to, so you might as well keep holding on to it instead of putting it back down and lifting it back up again. So this is L4, and with L4 you are going to do a forward backward knot. Forward, backward. So it's going to end up right where it should have been. And then the next step is you are going to take R4 and do a backward, forward. So backward and forward. It ends up back in the same place. But I just did the same thing. You are actually going to be using R4 to do 2 forward knots, so you might as well keep it in your hand again. So here we go. 1, and 2. And then you are going to take R1 and do a backward forward knot to keep that border going on the outside. If you ever miss the L1 or R1, you're going to see a bald spot in the outside right here. So make sure that you keep doing the R1 and L1 forward backward steps and backward forward steps. So, and then you take L5 and make 1 forward knot. This is essentially joining the middle, but since I like to do forward knots, that's why I have it written down as L5 forward knot. But for these 2 strings in the middle, whenever it says L5 forward knot on my instructions, you can do a backward or a forward backward or whatever you want, but I just like doing forward because it's simple. Okay, and then we go back to that step again. So step 3 will be the same as step 2, so you will do a forward backward with L1, and then you will do L2, 2 forward knots. 2, and since this is L4, we'll be keeping it in our hand, and then just do a forward backward knot. Okay, then you will pick up R4 and do a backward forward, and then you will do 2 forward knots with R4. Okay, and then you will take R1 and do a backward forward. There we go. Whew. And then you will take L5 and do a forward knot. And then for step 4, it is going to be the same one again. So take L1, forward, backward, L2, do 2 forward knots, 1, 2, and keep that string in your hand because L4 you're going to do a forward backward. Then you will take R4 and do a backward forward. And then do 2 forward knots with R4. 1, 2, and then you will do a backward forward with R1, and then you will do a forward knot with L5. Okay. And then step 5 is essentially going to be the same, only you leave out the joining of the middle, so you leave out the L5 forward knot. So we do L1 as a forward backward, and then we do L2, oops, grab 2 at the same time. So 1, 2 forward knots, and then L4 we will do a forward backward, and then R4 we do a backward forward, 1, forward, and then 2 forward knots with R4, 2, and then you will do a backward forward with R1, just like you've been doing. Okay, now we are on step 6, which is the last step. And step 6 is take L5 and you will do 4 forward knots. So 1, 2, 3, oops, and 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, okay. Excuse me. Then you will do L1, make a forward, backward, Then with L2, you will make 5 forward knots. So L2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Essentially what you're doing with step 6 is getting it back to how it looked at the beginning. So that's why this one ends up between the two blues. And then you are going to take L1 and do a forward backward to continue that border. And then you will go back to L2 again and make 3 forward knots. 1, 2, and 3. So if you can see, that one ended up between two blue as well, so you're going back to that alternating pattern, and then this black string is making its way back to the outside next to this one again. So also you are going to take, oops, almost skipped that L1 step. Then you take L1 and do your forward, backward again. See, sometimes it's easy to forget the L1 and R1 steps and then you lose that border. Okay, so, and then you take L2 and just do 1 forward knot. Okay, and then we are back to the beginning where we had all of the strings doing 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, except now they're reversed. But it won't matter because that's how you continue this pattern up here. So I am going to show you one more rotation.
I am stretched upon your grave and will lie there forever if your hands were in mine. I'd be sure they'd not sever.
And we are done. And that is 2 full rotations of the steps 1 through 6. And as you can see, you start getting that nice back and forth pattern, like this one. Oops, camera. Like this one. And you just continue doing steps 1 through 6, and it will continue to zigzag back and forth and give you that nice back and forth wrapped semi-futuristic looking pattern. I don't know why I think it looks futuristic, I just do, because it's very like Z-shaped, or S-shaped I should say, back and forth like that. I'm sure it reminds everyone of something different. But yep, that's all the steps that you need, and I hope you guys have luck with it, because I did rework the pattern so that way you could just keep going forward mostly, and then every now and again do a backward forward or a forward backward, because I know that I get annoyed with those knots if I have to keep stopping and doing them. So that is number 48 on friendshipbracelets.net if you want to look up a photo of it, or I should say a picture of the pattern. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and I probably won't be doing a whole lot more with friendship bracelets for a little while at least, because I've gotten very much into polymer clay, and I'll probably be doing some tutorials on polymer clay, but I probably will at least do the DNA pattern because a few people have requested that from me. So I will do the DNA pattern eventually, probably in the mix of doing some tutorials and charm updates and whatnot. So be looking forward to that one. If you're one of the people who requested it, I will do it because it is a very simple pattern. And I hope you guys have fun with this pattern, and you know, comment, rate, subscribe, whatever you want to do. Just try not to be too negative. And I hope you guys had a really good holiday. I know mine was pretty good, and I had my anniversary with my husband. So, yeah, that's basically it for now. Sorry I'm bad with talking at the end of my videos, but yeah, look for charm updates and clay tutorials in the near future, and there will be at least one friendship bracelet tutorial thrown in there, if not more, if people keep requesting them. So I shall see you next time, guys. Bye!